Hello, today I thought I'd have a bit of a moan, kind of like a moan, it's what I mostly do anyway, but I'm 43 and I've recently been prescribed medical C word to help with both PTSD and ADHD, and the last time I took or used the C word would have been, I don't know, like late 90s, early 2000s, that kind of time, I think. And what I've noticed is how I believe, now I was never like a major stoner or anything like that, but had some mates who were. I used it every now and again, but back like in the late 90s, early 2000s, it seemed to be simple, and what the whole thing was about was like a social ritual kind of thing where you'd all sit around in a circle. It's not, not weird like that, but I mean, you'd all sit around, play some music. At least one person obviously would have like the stuff. Maybe a few people would. Everyone would make that. I'm trying to explain this without using too many words in the first minute, because I think the algorithm won't like that. So everyone would roll like their own, or roll a great big one, and go around. Is it left hand side or right side? I can't remember now. Anyway, so all you needed really was your stuff, some red papers, blue papers, silver papers, whatever people used to use back then. Rizla papers, that is. Something to cut said material up, whether that just be a knife and a shot glass, or a grinder if you were posh. The grinders we had back then, they were cheap. I mean, they're probably about £1 back then, £2, like cheap plastic shark tooth kind of ones, and they worked. I can't remember anyone ever moaning, saying, "Oh, we grind this shit, you won't cut it up properly." No one even thought about it. And the main thing was just have a laugh, play some music, talk shit, think about like weird things, which I do anyway, and that was it. And everyone was happy. I come back into it's not really a hobby, but I come back into the whole thing, 20 odd years afterwards, later rather, and fuck me, it's changed. It's like people saying, "Oh, you want hemp papers, or you want bleach papers, or non-bleach papers, or organic papers, or thin papers, or thicker papers, or pink papers, or fucking brown paper." I'm setting fire to the bastard. Right, don't care. And then there's the weed grinders as well. I mean, I'm a sap for this. Sap, fuck me, that's a old word. So anyone I'd say over 30 might know what that word means, sap. That's from the 90s. But anyway, I'm a sap for that. So I see something new and shiny. I thought, oh, cool, that looks really good. I've spent a fortune so far on, some Santa Cruz grinder, British Space Case grinder, one of these crush cube things, and basically because I'm a little bit older, I've got a little bit more money now, I suppose, and they look cool, but you don't need them. And these things cost a fortune. I mean, so you got that, you got all the different papers, you got like your little boxes and bongs and bits you had back in the day. I seem to recall if you had like a bong, you were like the nuts. Most people just use like a can or some 2 litre bottle of Coke or something like that, and a straw. I can't remember now. But now it's all like these fancy pipes and something else. These, I had to look into what these actually were. Now I'm going to avoid saying the company name, the brand name, only because I might be talking out my arse and I don't want to get sued. But there was rather than use a card roach, which we used to use back like in the day, which on a side note, no one cared what it was. It was just like thin card rolled up. That's it. You didn't think any more of it. Now you get all like the pre-rolled things. Now I know stoners can't be asked to do a lot of things, but come on, pre-rolled roaches. So you get all those. You get activated carbon tips and all this kind of stuff. But the I noticed that there's some people have glass tips. So I didn't know what that meant at first. I know it seems really obvious, but I didn't really know what that meant because I thought, glass. Why the fuck would you do that? Because to me it just seems more of a pain in the ass. But these things are expensive. As in, the cheapest one I saw was about 40 quid for one. Now I get, it's required some kind of level of engineering to manufacture and all this kind of stuff. But glass, and the inside, not really on the inside, but the glass tips you buy, I mean, it's really fine, as in inside, like the little tiny holes and whatnot. Now, if you drop this on the floor, you're fucked, right? That's 40 quid, at least £40 gone. I think like 40 quid for about a 6mm one, I think it was. And they get stupidly expensive, and you got, blues and reds and bloody sparkly ones and all this kind of shite. But if you dropped it on the floor, you're fucked. I don't know, my suspicion is if you tap your joint too hard, that might split something inside or crack something inside, right? But either way, why would you want something with the glass being so fine, as in like light bulb thickness kind of glass, really thin glass, that you could smash or crack or just chip a little bit away, and you're inhaling it. Now, if you're unfortunate and you inhale like a microscopic slither, I don't know why I even said that, my stammer won't allow me to say that, of glass, you're fucked. As in, that's a real bad day for you. And I don't even know how a hospital would help you with that, because that seems like if it goes onto your lungs, I don't know how you get that out again. But either way, I honestly can't say. Now, I understand what people say, it makes your joint feel, really fancy and like a premium joint. But 40 quid, at least 40 quid for one glass tip to put in your joint to replace the card roach. I don't know why you do that. Honestly, don't know. But the point I was trying to make, I think, if I've got a point at all, is when the fuck did all this happen? Like, I can remember, like, back in the 90s, early 2000s, if someone had soap bar or weed, soap bar, I don't think you get that in the States, but soap bar was dreadful. It has all kinds of stuff in it. But soap bar, weed, draw, anything like that. All anyone cared about is, one, is it in hand? Have you actually got hold of it? And is it any good? And that is a simple answer. Yes, it's great, or yeah, it's all right, or no, right? That's what I cared about, and everyone who I knew, the only thing they were interested in is it any good? As in, will this get me high or stoned? If you said terpenes 20 years ago, people wouldn't what the fuck you're talking about. And now it would appear lots of people are saying, oh, that this one, it's got like an oaky aroma, or this one smells of blueberry or vanilla custard. And no, it fucking doesn't. Right, let's stop talking shit. You might get some weed that smells, a bit citrusy. Fucking hell, my stomach's coming out again. Or you might get stuff that smells, like skunk. I know, I don't mean the animal, but you can generally tell what kind of weeds you are. But that's all anyone cared about. All about these different types of terpenes, and this one smells of bloody, I don't know, sage. And this one's, you can really taste the blueberry. No, fuck off. No, you're talking shit. Now, I admit it might be a case, because I appear to be like the odd one out here. But to me, it just tastes like weed. That's as much as my mind allows me to get is, or understand, is, yeah, it's weed. I can't pick out any different notes and undertones and undernotes, whatever they call them. It's not fucking... I don't know if people are trying to overcomplicate a really simple thing to get some, I don't know, YouTube content out of it, or to influence the hobby. But there's not much to it. I mean, weed's good or it isn't, or it's kind of mediocre. But stop talking shit about bloody oak and orangey and citrusy and oh, this one tastes of onion. I don't know. It's just nonsense in my opinion. But I feel a bit sad, because a lot of these people who like a watch, who don't get me wrong, I do enjoy a lot of the content and stuff, but I think I'm probably as old as their old man. So lots of these people weren't, when I was smoking weed, they weren't even alive. And I feel there's been quite a big shift from what stonerism, I don't know if that's the word, from what it once was, kind of like talking shit and being social and being stoned and playing on your Super Nintendo and all that nostalgic kind of stuff, to now people smoking weed on their own in front of a camera and a ring light and Rode microphones and stuff. It's changed. It's moved away from that nice social underground kind of thing. Now, I don't know if this is because, or since it became like legal in the United States and North America as a whole, actually many European countries, and now in the UK it's licensed for medical use. I don't know. I kind of suspect it is, to be honest, but it might be a case that as soon as that happens, all your big corporate people, who ironically are the people most stoners used to object to, they've now taken over, and everything's about terpenes and stickers and lights and fancy ashtrays and fancy grinders and the glass tips and different containers to put your weed in. I mean, once upon a time you used to have like a little self-sealed bag if you were lucky. Worst case, it would be in a bit of cling film or some newspaper. Most of the time, at some point, it's been stored next to someone's nutsack before you got hold of it, and now people are going on about these jars, as in jars, JARYZ, I think it's about, you know, a lot of the plastic on the outside and the glass in the middle, and UV protected glass and smell proof this, which the smell proof thing I can kind of understand, that's a very good move, but all these people just going on and on about how to store your weed best, and I don't know about anyone else, but my weed generally isn't in any kind of container long enough to spoil. I don't have, you know, half a kilo of it at home. It's generally enough for like a week maybe, and it's largely irrelevant whether I store it in glass or plastic or cloth or a wooden humidor or whatever it might be. It really makes no odds, right? But a lot of this stuff, they need to give the potential customer a reason of why they're charging so much, like a Santa Cruz weed grinder, right? It might be made out of aerospace aluminium. Who gives a fuck? It's not going into, you know, I'm not going to be sending it into space or anything. It's just to grind a soft plant that I'll then smoke shortly after. Nobody cares. But these things look cool, they're engineered well, so people like me, particularly people with ADHD like me, will buy that thinking, oh yeah, this is the one weed grinder I need. I won't ever need to buy one again. I bought my Santa Cruz one about a month ago. I bought about 5 of fairly high-end weed grinders since. Why? Because they're cool, aren't they? That, like, at some point, these like rip tip things or little tips that I've just been moaning about, at some point I'll buy one of those, won't I? And I'll buy a blue one, and then I say, oh, the black one's nice, and I'll buy that, and what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, so my moan is really, it'll be a shame. It'll be a shame if people move away from what weed culture was, because it seems heavily, really quite heavily corporately. It's been influenced by big corporations now. Like, you need this and you need that. You don't. And I don't see many weed influencers, if you can call it that, smoking enthusiasts. Very few of them. I think there's one bloke, I think he's one lad, I think he's from Southampton way in the UK. I get from his accent. He seems alright. I mean, he talks nonsense a bit, I think, but he does like his little ones where he'll walk out into the sticks and find somewhere nice to sit down. Like, I'm opposite the Isle of Wight at the moment. Not that I'd smoke weed here, but he was all about to have like a mini hike, or basically a walk from like his van into like the woods or the sticks or whatever. Find somewhere nice to sit down, have a bit of a picnic, have a smoke, enjoy the scenery, enjoy nature, you know, be at one. He's got the right idea. None of this faux excitement about things, like this new weed grinder is going to solve all your problems, like there's a problem there to begin with, or you need these papers, or you need these glass tips, or you need just, you know, 5 things you are doing wrong when storing your weed. Oh, get fucked. No, I'm not. I'm keeping it for a couple of days at best. Worst case, rather, I'll keep it for a few days and I'll smoke the bastard anyway, or I'll use like one of the dry herb vaporizers, because I'm not allowed to smoke it because it's not licensed for that in the UK. But yeah, you've got all that, and as I said, it's my ADHD. I'm just rambling and repeating myself. It'll be a shame if the people in like their 20s now, like half my age, if they think smoking weed or taking weed or edibles, having edibles, if they think it's all about marketing and corporate stuff, it shouldn't be. It's not about that at all. I mean, people have smoked weed or consumed weed in one way or another for probably thousands of years. And this isn't like the hippie part of me here at all, but I think it'll be a real shame if we as people lose touch with what it used to be all about, and we move towards all buying fucking fancy grinders and stupid bloody pots to store it in and all this kind of stuff. They're over complicating something which you don't really need anything for. Weed, papers, lighter, even like ashtrays. I mean, like I said, admittedly I was, 19, 20, 21, and maybe not many of us had like our own homes back then, but I don't think I ever even saw a fucking ashtray, let alone some fancy one. I think people just use like a crumpled up Carling can or something like that, or just, yeah. But now people spending 40, 50 quid on some fancy ashtray. The fuck's wrong with you? So yeah, I say, and I'm going to try and wrap my mini rant up now. When I say mini, it's about 21 minutes, 22 minutes. I'm going to wrap all this up by saying I would love to see more people in this niche talking shit on camera whilst high with the mates. Just show the world what smoking weed or consuming weed is all about. Just do that with your mates, all talk shit, play music in the background even if you get like a YouTube strike for it. But let's not overcomplicate things. Let's not turn this into some big corporate bloody movement, because it shouldn't be. But on that note, I'll probably wrap this up, because I've basically just moaned again for 23 minutes. And if any of you do watch my stuff, you will see like the irony of me rambling on about how much I hate this whole corporate bloody thing now, with stoner culture, because you'll see uploads from me of a new weed grinder I've bought, but it will be like an honest one, and the only reason why I'm buying this stuff is largely down to me having ADHD, and I just can't help myself. But yeah, so yeah, go back, bring stoner culture back. Let's move away from all this talking fucking terpenes like you're in like the south of France trying all different types of wine. You're fucking not. It's weed. Let's stop talking shit here. Yeah, so get fucked with all these terpene nonsense and storing it in glass jars or this grinder's made out of fucking titanium. If you need a weed grinder made out of heavy stainless steel or titanium, you need to ask yourself, what the fuck are you doing with your weed grinder? It's a soft plant you're putting in. Plastic one will do just fine, 2-3 quid, and if you lose it, you lose it. Right, that's enough. Thanks for watching, if you have bothered watching. Yeah, I need to go and pick my other half up now from work. So yeah, thank you. Bye.